Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the show today. I'm super excited to have you guys here, even if you're watching the replay. If you're new, my name's Ed. I'm Ed Troxel, I should say. And I'm a Facebook Live consultant and founder of Coaches Go Live, where we help coaches, consultants, and service providers grow their brands online with live video. I'm super excited today to have my good friend and amazing client, Midori, here with us. And we are going to hear from Midori on how using live video, how her experience, I should say, has been with using live video and using the strategies that I teach inside Coaches Go Live to help her grow her business here online. Now, a quick overview before we jump into everything. If this is your first time hearing this, quick overview, Coaches Go Live is a 5-week one-on-one coaching program that is now open, where I teach you how to create the first season of your very own online TV show. Yes, just like what you're seeing here. Inside Coaches Go Live, I break everything down for you, from mindset to planning your episodes, the first 10, because that's your season 1. And I actually show you how to go live both from your phone and your computer, just like you're seeing here, as well as how to get a little fancier with the tech without having all the tech headaches. So that way your brand can grow here online and stay top of mind in the news feed. Remember, I've been doing this for a long time, 5 years, over 5 years actually, since Periscope first started back in the day when I was a total introvert. Like what you're seeing now was not where I started. And actually inside Coaches Go Live, I do share one of my very first videos so you guys can see just how far back I started and where we've come now. So that's a little bit more about Coaches Go Live. It just simplifies everything for you so that you can go live with a plan, because it is so much more than just hitting that go live button. I know you've heard it from others. Just go live, you'll be fine. But there's so much more to it before, during, and after. And that's what I help you with inside Coaches Go Live. So Midori, welcome to the show. I'm super excited to have you here. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let people know who you are.
Yeah, Ed, whenever we get to play together like this, it's always fun. So I'm glad to be here. But I am Midori Verity. I am a mindset coach. I help entrepreneurs and professionals who are ambitious and they want to get to that next level. I help you break through those challenges and those mindsets that we have that are keeping us stuck, so you can get to where you want to go and things start becoming easier and simpler, and all of a sudden you're there. So that's what I do.
I love it. And when you think about live video, really, let's go back a ways, just a few years. But let's go back and think about, what did you first think when live video came around and I was telling you really to go live and to get into the mix here?
Yeah, I was scared to death because I'm not an introvert. However, I was scared to death to speak on stage and then also to be on camera, especially. And so all that apprehension that so many of us have. And so when you were talking about it, I'm like, no. That's what I was thinking. And then I remember you did the Periscope. I'm like, this is kind of cool. And I think you had me on, I think before, it's hard to remember everything, but you had me on one of your shows.
Yep.
And then I decided, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 30 days straight of Periscope. And that was kind of my boot camp. And I just forced myself every single day to get up, to do my makeup, do all that stuff. And all of a sudden, it started to become fun. And I wasn't as nervous. And I looked forward to it. And I had the same people coming on to talk with me. And so it was kind of like a little mini party every time. And I got to connect with people who became my clients and understand them at a different level. So it was one of the best things I've ever done, quite frankly, for my business.
And that's true. We all, myself included, when I first started as well, we all go through the, I don't think so. No, I'm not getting in front of the camera. No, I'm not going live. But then when you start to do it and you start getting into it, I mean, for us, we really had to go through a lot of the mud and really like go figure it out. But it was one of those things that once you start doing it, it's like, wow, I can keep moving forward and I can start meeting new people and really connect with people in a different way than just regular posts, right?
Right. Yeah, they get to know you and they see your authenticity, and there's no faking
Yeah.
behind this. And so I think that's kind of the game changer is, okay, so that was number one, is they get to see who you really are and what you're about. But then, Ed, you're the one who really takes it to that next level, because I can get on and do this all day long. And I know how to do the basics of editing, and you've taught me a lot, but there's a whole lot more you can do with just this video. And that's where you came in, and you're like, you'll tell me, oh, Midori, you can do this and you can do that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, whoa, that is so much. But then like you and I, we work really closely with our show and everything else. But when you start doing it, it's not so overwhelming.
Right. And that's the key, is that I want you guys to know that, yes, the tech can be overwhelming. Yes, going live can be overwhelming. But it doesn't have to be. Like that's what we are talking about here. And that's what I teach inside Coaches Go Live, is really breaking that down into those bite-sized pieces of information that you get what you need and you actually implement. Like my whole thing, as you know, and I'm sure those of you tuning in know as well, for those who have been following me for a while at least, that my whole thing is, what do you need or think that you need? Awesome. Let me get that for you. Here's how you do it. Done. What's next? Like, it's all about keeping that momentum moving forward and getting those things checked off the list as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because it's easy to get. I mean, this is what I help my clients with, is that where you get stuck, yes. Right? And it's all mental, because we can figure anything out. But there are certain things that some of us are more gifted at. I call it your zone of genius. I am not gifted at tech in any way, shape, or form, nor is it something that I really care to be. And so I've learned that. And so but I can follow a system. And so by having that system that's really simple and clear, I can do it, or I know what needs to happen. So I can hire, I'm luckily at a point now where I can hire out, but I know what to hire out for. And I think that's really important to know, so that you're not just spending money or wasting time on things that aren't going to serve you and help you really get bang for your buck. So those are just some of the things that I've learned along the way.
Yeah. And how has live streaming shaped you and your business? Because we know, we've been talking about this all the time, it's not just about growing the business online, but it's also about growing yourself. It really does work for both you personally and professionally. So how has that helped you grow over the time?
Yeah, in so many ways, because as you know, Ed knows this, but you probably don't. I've had a number of businesses over the years, and I pretty much out of college, I started with my own business, and that was more of a brick and mortar. So now with this online type of business, it's so different. And I wasn't connecting. Like, I did it for years. I wrote a book and I did everything. We were just talking about this thing called Infusionsoft. I spent a lot of money on hiring marketing people and all these things. I spent a ton of money on all this stuff, but it wasn't working. And so by learning video and learning how to get up here and be live where you're the most vulnerable, and connecting with people live where they're telling you they're liking something, so you know where you've hit something that's important to them, and they can ask you questions. It just changes the game, and I feel like I can go from my heart more than I could before, where before it was just writing things on paper or having someone create a sales funnel for me. But by doing this video, I was thinking about it earlier because I knew I was coming on your show, Ed, that I have become so much more comfortable with myself and also with what I do, helping people with their mindset and with their business and getting to another level, because this is live, and you have to be able to connect from your heart when you're here, because if you don't, you will never come across as authentic and real, and it's not as fun.
Right.
So that's a big part of what it's taught me, but so much more. It's I think I'm a better coach for it. I think I can listen better. I can respond better. I can help people in so many different ways. Getting outside of just the live. Yeah. One other thing I've been able to do with it is do all these interviews. So I've interviewed amazing people who I've learned so much from, which I put in my pocket and I use it with my clients and I use it in my own business. And so it's more than just getting out here and connecting. There's so many different ways to use it as a tool for personal growth, for increasing your confidence, and everything. So many other things that you learn. And so it's not just one-sided as far as what you learn from, or what I've learned from doing live videos.
Yeah, and it's opened the doors for you in so many different ways. As you mentioned with these interviews, I mean, you've been able to interview some pretty big names. I mean, Story Brand, ring a bell to anybody tuning in?
Yeah, and I'm not, I think because I have so many of these videos under my belt, we've interviewed some people from Shark Tank, winners from Shark Tank, and just incredible people who've produced movies and movie producers and directors. And I was just on an interview with a gal named Michelle Patterson, who was running, and I'm not trying to brag, what I'm saying is this is what it can do for you the more you do it. With a woman named Michelle Patterson, who has become a very close friend, but she took over for Maria Shriver for the California Women's Conference. But because I was doing these videos, it was my way in with her to help her create a whole online virtual summit before virtual summits were even a thing.
Yes.
And, we had amazing people. Hope Solo, before she went down the wrong path. But at the height of her, soccer games, we had her on and we had other people. But that's what it can do. But it took a little while to get there. I had to build my confidence, but then I started to love it. And so it shows through the more you do it. And anyone, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And the fact that we can get through so quickly through video to get to the next level is really rather amazing.
Yeah.
And where we are today.
And that's what I love about live video, because I was the same way. I was like, no, I'm not doing video. And I knew for myself, and I had to have this conversation with myself when I first started my business, that if I wanted to survive, I had to stand out. And the only way to stand out was to do this live broadcasting thing. And so from there on, that's when I set the tone. I started creating my show and started, just doing the work and being able then to craft that, because my brain's always thinking, how can I make this easier? And how can I help others implement this quickly? And so that's why I created Coaches Go Live, is so that way the path is laid out for those of you who are tuning in, who are thinking, yeah, I want to stand out more. I want to break through that noise. I want to be able to build up my know, like, trust factor quickly here online. And I want to be able to have video content that I can then reuse, what we like to say is repurpose. You mentioned being able to have those videos in your pocket and being able to show people what you've done, what you're capable of doing. Like, that's the beauty of live broadcasting. You guys who are tuning in, I mentioned going live with a plan. It's not just, okay, I'm going to go live on Facebook and call it a day, and it either worked or it didn't, in terms of I made a sale or I didn't. That's not the plan here. The bigger picture is really being more consistent online, growing your audience, growing that know, like, trust factor, and having those real videos like this that you can have both on your Facebook page as well as repurposed wherever else you want to show up online. This is what I call the live effect. This is what I actually provide you inside the Coaches Go Live, is that I show you where you can take these videos and repurpose them. And video just creates just that next to in-person what word am I trying to say that? Next to
Like a connection. It's
yes.
uh-huh. You feel like you get to know these people.
Yeah.
Right. And so one thing that I've noticed when I have a new client or someone who's reaching out to me to work with me, it's a lot easier to get the clients because they already know who I am. They've already heard me before. They might have rewatched some of the other videos that I've done. In fact, now I rarely do live videos because I'm busy doing other parts of my business. I don't have as much time to do this anymore, which is really a good thing. This is where I want to help get all my clients too. And so, but they see the other stuff that I've done, and that is invaluable because it's always there, right? You can write a blog post, that's fine, and some people watch it, but when they see you live on a video, it just is something different. And I get one thing that we forgot to mention, or that I forgot to mention, is I was invited to start a TV show. I don't know, about a year ago now, Ed?
Yeah.
And the reach from that was it's huge. It's, we say 30 million, they say 60 million, whatever, but it's amazing. And then now we're going to take that and make it into a podcast too. But I get a lot of people contacting me from that, and I don't have to do anything. But the reason why I got invited to do that show was because this person had seen my videos and he knew I was capable of it. And then, of course, I knew Ed, and I know what Ed's zone of genius is. And so it worked out really well. But I'm bringing this up for two reasons. One, doors open. But number two, if you're not that savvy person with tech or with different things, look for someone else to partner with, such as Ed. I mean, Ed, you have these programs that are amazing that I don't think people really understand what it can do for them. Or, someone else. But that really can be a game changer and take away that part that you don't enjoy doing, that's not your zone. And then you can focus in on what you are good at and what you do love to do.
Yes, it's so important, that we all make sure that we pause and reflect on what is it that we're trying to accomplish? What is it that we need help with? And is it something that you should be doing, or that you should be getting an expert to help you with? Because as coaches, as consultants, we are always trying to do all the things, and really, if marketing and being online is not one of your areas of expertise, then you really do need to have an expert come in and help you with that, or at least take the training to help you adjust with that. So that way you have a better understanding. I was just on a call with someone yesterday, and we were talking about Coaches Go Live and just giving an overview. And they were talking about how they feared, before we started talking, they were talking about their fear of going live. And they were like, no, I tell my clients that they can go live and they'll be fine, but I'm not going to do it. And then we started talking, and we went over what we cover inside the program. And then they were saying, wow, I had no idea that there was a bigger plan, bigger strategy around going live. And I could hear, because we weren't on a video, we were on audio, and I could hear that light bulb go off. And I told her, I said, the key word is yet, because she kept saying, I'm not going to go. And then after we had our conversation, I said, so you're not going to go live yet. But now that you know me, you're going to go live. It's just a matter of time, because that's what happens.
It's true. But I think you brought up a good point. When you have a business, I've dealt with so many different people who are in business, from the beginning to being in business for 5 or 10 years and really not making a lot of traction.
Yeah.
The marketing is super important. You can't just throw things at the wall like spaghetti and hope and pray, because you are going to waste a lot of time and a lot of money. So having an overall campaign with goals and with what you want to achieve from these, and being able to pivot. So this is part of marketing. The going live is a big part of it, but what are you going to gain from it? How can you use one little video to put it in different places? How are you going to structure your video so that you come across authentically, but also you're giving away tips? So people are like, oh, that is something I do need, right? And they're listening long enough to stay on to get the tip and know that you are the person who has the solutions. This is all part of it. You have to understand the full part of it because yes, anyone can go on live. Anyone can. We've all seen those horrible videos where you're like, "Ooh, ouch," because there's no plan behind it. And not to say don't do that because it's okay.
Yes.
But my point is that when you're starting a business, if you want to be taken seriously, if you really want to become successful, you have to have a marketing plan. And so that's where this comes in, and really seeing the bigger scope of what you want to achieve from video.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you brought that up because yes, exactly. It's all about having that plan in place, that strategy of making it work for you. You know, being online is a lot. The technology is a lot. Many of you are not very tech savvy, and that is okay. You don't have to be. So take that pressure off of you and allow yourself to just pause and look at what is it that you're trying to accomplish and who is in your corner or who can be in your corner to help you get there a little bit quicker, because that's what we all want to do is we want to work smarter, not harder. You know, we want to be able to get things done and checked off the list so that we can go work on whatever it is that our zone of genius is and what we enjoy doing.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, that's so much a part of business is staying in your lane.
Yes.
And then you have to have a good marketing plan. I was just listening to a podcast this morning, which I love podcasts, when I'm getting ready and I just can listen.
Yeah.
But that's what they talked about. You have to have those things in place. You have to have strategy and know what you're good at. And then also where you aren't good at so that you can go and get someone to help you out. But really kind of getting clear on, okay, who do I know? How much money do I have to invest? And you do have to invest in your business.
Yes.
You can start off bootstrapping, which is fine. But at some point, if you really want to make a good living that's comfortable and achieve amazing goals, you have to have some money in there to invest to get you to the next level. And so just being really clear on all those aspects of the business journey.
Yeah. And I love how you brought up preparing for the podcast part, because for those who aren't familiar, that's also part of the live effect inside Coaches Go Live, where we teach that how to repurpose your videos into your podcast, because many of you are going to be wanting your own podcast, if not already thinking about starting your own podcast. And so again, my job is to simplify the process and help you cut out some steps that you don't need and really focus on one area that can expand and really cover all the other spots. So just keep that in mind when you're planning out, your online course, your podcast, like your membership stuff, like whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Just know that there's a bigger picture here, and please reach out and let me know, because I would love to help point you in the right direction to help with that stuff.
And, I think that's another thing for people to be aware of is that your audience on video is often very different than your audience on podcasts.
Yeah.
So it can be the same exact content,
Yep.
but you can do it in two different places, and it's much, much different. And that's what's genius. And podcasting is coming to, there's amazing things happening in podcasting to reach people and to connect. And then with video as well. As you know, I have my platform that I'm on, but other people can be on it too. And so it's just a matter of learning how to do it and getting the right connections to be able to do it. But that's huge. One little video can go in all these different places. So it's not just video, it's also podcasting. But I don't know how to do that.
Right.
So if you tell me, you can do a podcast from your video, and then through my head, this is all that mindset stuff. I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to do that? I don't understand this. I know how to do a video. I know how to hit play, but I don't know how to do all the other stuff. That's where having someone who has already been there, done that, and is a little bit techie can help really shorten that learning curve and free up your mind for the other stuff that you need to be doing. So.
And that's the thing. This stuff is what I love. It's so much fun. And I love being able to just be like, done, here you go. And then you're like, yes.
Something that would take me hours. You're like, okay, done. Let's move on.
Yep.
Like, how'd you do that?
Exactly. So I just wanted to thank all of you guys for tuning in. I wanted to bring Midori in so that way you guys can see and hear from someone who has gone through the strategies that I'm teaching inside Coaches Go Live and really understand the power of live video and that it's more than just going live on Facebook. There's a whole strategy behind it and a whole plan to help you grow your brand here online, to really grow your business as well as yourself, and to understand that the one video can be so powerful and it can reach more people, not just on Facebook, but in general. It can reach more people wherever you're showing up. So if you're thinking about live broadcasting, if you're thinking about creating a podcast or an online course or whatever it is you're trying to put out into the world, I hope that you'll consider taking Coaches Go Live, working with me inside of Coaches Go Live, I should say. So that way we can make that process easier for you and really get you set up for success, because season 1, those 10 episodes are going to set you up for that consistent pattern and really open up those doors for what's to come afterwards.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And I definitely could not have done all the things that I've done without you. And I will be the total testimonial person, because it's, to me, it's overwhelming and it just sucks up way too much of my brain space. And, being a mindset coach, I understand the value of that brain space. And I just appreciate having people like you who are so authentic and real that we can trust. And you'll help us get to the point that we need to be at so that we can be successful. So,
and one last note on that too is the fact that creative part, right? Because we're all creative, but we have to step outside of we have to have that outside perspective to help us, because I know you'll go and talk about a topic, and then all of a sudden in my brain it clicks. We could do this, or you could do this scene and talk about this here. And then that light bulb goes off and you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that, because you were in the zone with what right? And so being able to bring in that extra creativity and that person to bounce the ideas off of, that's another huge thing. And that's something I love doing all the time with my clients.
Yeah, no, the collaboration, it's amazing. The difference. I was just talking with my assistant in the office, and we're running a new campaign for a different business. And I mentioned something, and then she gave me some feedback on it. And it just, like, this one little teeny idea all of a sudden blossomed into this amazing, impactful marketing campaign that we're going to put out there. And we just nailed it because of our collaboration together. So it really does. It's so nice. And then you don't feel as alone either. So that's one thing that I think people really value when they get to work with you, Ed.
Yeah. And I didn't mention this earlier, but just so you guys know as well, inside Coaches Go Live, you actually get unlimited texting support as well as coaching. We have coaching calls set up. So my whole thing is that I don't want you to feel unattended or any time, on your own, because this is the program that helps you complete everything and get through what it is you're trying to produce online. And so this is fun for me, and I want to make it fun for you, so then that way you're more successful in your online journey. So I just want to make sure everyone knows that, especially if you're new to me, that's how I roll. I like to support you however I can, whether or not it's inside my programs.
Yeah, having someone to have your back really is important, because so many people feel alone. And then when we feel alone, we start playing those things in our mind that go over, those recordings that we have in our mind. I can't do this. What am I doing? I'm an imposter. I don't know what I'm talking about. And someone's going to see that, and then I'm going to be totally done, right? Yeah. But when you have someone else to bounce these ideas off of and talk and collaborate, you break through those challenges so much quicker.
100%.
Yep. And then it becomes you create these new mindsets and these new recordings in your brain, such as what we're talking about. So before, I was scared to be on video, and now I'm not nervous about it at all. I'm just thinking, okay, how can I help deliver better information that's more impactful, that helps more people? That's where I should be. That's where we all should be thinking about that type of content, not oh my gosh, is my hair done? Do I have food in my teeth? And those types of things that really hold us back.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. Midori, let everyone know where they can find out more about you, because I want those who have seen you here to know where they can find you. I did tag you in the post, but just in case people are listening.
Yeah. The best place to find me is my website, which is MidoriVerity.com. You can see the spelling down there, but MidoriVerity.com, that's my website. You can email me from there. And you can see kind of what I'm about as well.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Midori, for being here and for sharing with everyone your live journey and how the live strategies have helped you grow your business. And we just appreciate you being here with us today.
Yes, thanks for having me, Ed. I always have fun with you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Take care.